Network, moving Wisconsin forward one joke at a time. This is As Goes Wisconsin with Kristen Bry.
Where it's going, no one knows. Hello, Wisconsin!
Now, filling in for the new mom, here's Jane Matinaire.
Good morning and welcome to As Goes Wisconsin. So happy to have you along with us. Greg Bach is with me in studio. Calvin is on the board. And we always love to hear from you at 844-967-2789, 844-96.
Party. There we are. Party.
Party. Yes, there we go. All kinds of things coming up on today's show. Kristen Bry will be joining us at 10:33 for a round of the good, the bad. And you stole how many of these?
As many as I wanted.
Well, apparently so. That is coming up at 10:33 at 11 o'clock at 11:06. We haven't done this in a while. It's going to be
More words from men.
You're not going to want to miss
No,
that.
not this heaping pile of dumpster fires.
It's hilarious and yet somewhat disturbing.
Infuriating.
Exactly. I wanted to start off with, though, on the one hand, I find this really hilarious, and on the other hand, I find it really sad and very concerning. Yesterday on social media, Donald Trump announced that if you buy all 47 of his new Mugshot Edition digital cards for $4,653, you get an autographed piece of the suit he wore when he was arrested.
We've all seen his signature, so therefore it's going to have to be a
sizable
amount of fabric.
One would think so.
Yeah.
Does anyway? I just imagine if this were any other former president doing something like this.
Oh,
would we not be appalled?
Maybe, but also you don't think that a Barack Obama's autograph suit wouldn't go like that? Come on.
I'm not saying it wouldn't sell. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I mean this is huckster of the highest regard. Like, this is next level.
And I guess what concerns me is that there are people who are probably not in the financial situation who will go ahead and buy this.
Oh, absolutely. When that NFT came out earlier this year, and we were like, what? It sold out within minutes. It was gone. And I think it was like $100 a piece. It was not cheap, and they're worth nothing. None of those things are.
Right. They have no value.
They have no value whatsoever. But people will buy them. I just want to know, like, are they doing variations on a theme? Like one card has just the original, and then there's another one where he looks old timey Western, and there's another one where he's like has a cigar hanging out. It looks like, what was it? Tony Lunchmeats from yesterday.
Right, Tony Pork Chops.
Tony Pork Chops.
Yeah.
Tony Cold Cuts.
It's they're all imagined images of the former president
with a very defined jawline, I'm sure.
Oh yes, and a much svelter.
Yeah.
Figure.
Better hair. We're not here to shame.
But again, I am worried about the fact that there will be people who are going to shell out almost $5,000 in order to get an autographed piece of the suit Donald Trump wore when he was arrested. I know they're there.
I'm going to ask a question. These individuals who are going to do this are individuals who we're referring to the other day as on the far end of the bell curve, where there's no getting to them. They think the election was stolen. They're going to vote for Trump. They're going to write him in. That's done. So the question I have for you is, why do you care that they spend their money on this, Drek?
Because they're still fellow human beings, and I think they're being grifted. I think they're being cheated. And the fact that anyone would actually believe that piece of cloth you're going to get, it really came from that particular suit. Boy, that's a stretch.
But hey, I had a teacher in high school who wore a cross around his neck, and inside that cross was a tiny little glass vial, and inside that little glass vial was a tiny piece of wood that he was told was part of the original crucifixion. And so, I mean, people are going to buy what makes them feel good. And I'm not saying it was good or bad, but You wear that around your neck, makes you feel good, and you buy those things because it makes you feel good. I don't know why it makes you feel good. They're getting grifted. That boat left a what? That's grift boated. See what I did there?
Yeah.
They're grifted. They're in it. There's
Doesn't
no
matter.
Like I said yesterday, the only way they're ever going to change their mind is they got to come to the conclusion themselves. No one here is going to do it for them.
You're absolutely right. Jordan, we have a clip from Calvin, rather. We have a clip from a Jordan Klepper who is from The Daily Show.
Correct,
And he
yes.
goes to a lot of Trump events and Trump rallies and likes to talk to the attendees. So here is his exchange with one young man. This is Gordon Klepper from The Daily Show.
I was excited to see the sights and sounds and the long lines of politically engaged citizens. And it didn't take long to spot the new piece of must-have MAGA merch, the mugshot.
Never surrender to the tyranny.
What is Trump doing here on this shirt?
This is his mugshot.
Gotcha. So that was taken when he surrendered to authorities to have his picture taken.
Long pause.
Huh? It says never surrender, but
Is that on the back? Is the
What
butt?
they
Let me see the
want
back.
to-
Let me see the back.
I think
Butt,
it's
oh, no,
just Trump.
it's just Trump. So where's the butt part? Is that's implied?
844-967-2789, 844-96-PARTY. Does this disturb you at all? Or are you like Greg? It's like, look, these are adults. They can do what they want with their money.
And also, I'm used to it. At this point,
That doesn't surprise you.
I mean, this is what this is 2023. We're rounding a decade in the making of this whole brand that is Trump the politician. So nothing surprises me. The only thing that surprises me is for myself is that idea of forgetting the most incendiary things he said because he just says stupider things later. Like, that's the only thing. Nothing he does surprises me anymore. Nothing he says surprises me anymore because he's just a man gripping the last bits of fame he can if he doesn't get the nomination.
Oh, he will get the nomination. True. I guess there's an off chance he won't, but I would be very surprised if he did not get the GOP nomination.
If he doesn't go to prison first.
Right. 844-967-2789. Karina from Milwaukee joining us this morning. Good morning, Karina. Thanks for calling in.
It's a disease. Honestly, I truly think it's a disease and an obsession. And if people have enough money to do that, well, how I can say, poop in front of the shovel, right? This is their business. Unfortunately, for us, this is a society we're living in, where people think it's a valuable. Anything from Trump is actually valuable, and I'm sad. I'm very sad.
I agree with you, Karina. It makes me sad that people will fall for this. Again, it's almost $5,000. Thank you for calling, Karina. Almost $5,000 for all 47 of Donald Trump's new mugshot edition digital cards. So again, this is not a physical thing, right, Greg? It only exists online if it's a digital card.
Yeah, they probably send you a folder and then you get to look at them on your phone.
And then you get this piece of cloth.
Yep.
Allegedly from the suit he wore when he was arrested.
I mean, honestly, I'm such a huge fan of John Oliver. I'm thinking about the episode where he was talking about these TV preachers and the things they will do and say to get you to send them money, sending you little gifts and saying, but you got to send us back this. And this is the same idea, just a religious.
Yes.
Even though to them, he is a religion, he's not really he's using the fact that they think of him as touched by God.
Yes, they do.
And
many do.
I mean, you think about that for a second. If you enlist your mind into what I'm doing, I will give you a piece of my cloth, a piece of my robe. It is blessed. It is written upon. The king has written upon it.
You have a really good point.
I mean,
there is an allure there, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there are people out there who be like, if you buy this box set of Taylor Swift's all of her records, you will get a guitar string. You don't think that would sell out in 4 seconds? And when I say 4 seconds, I mean literally 4 seconds. Of course there were. We all have those individuals in our lives.
844-967-2789. You can call and or text or leave a comment on the live stream, on Facebook, YouTube, and or Twitter. Bill from Economowoc. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
On all of that, people have to understand the difference between sanity and insanity. And it just flows out of him. It's hard to believe in our civilized culture, we're tolerating that. We're supposed to have a culture that we represent the world as the number one power in the world, the number one government with a guy like him. It's got to start quickly that enough is enough. You're done. You're finished. I teach Christian leadership groups. I've been blessed. I've got 3 of them, soon to be 4. We minister to a lot of people. And when that comes up, as it does, I get very irritated to say either you buy into the Bible cover to cover, but don't cherry pick it. Because if you cherry pick it, you're in trouble, not with me, but with the divine powers. So if you're going to use it like Mike Johnson uses it, or Trump or whoever, you're really crossing a line that will affect you for infinity. And if you don't understand that, I'll help you. I won't get mad at you. I will help you. But to make people believe this, here's the good thing. Here's the good news. How about some good news?
Yes.
He's so far out on that plank, he can't walk it back anymore. Neither can any of these mega right people. Now they got to live with who they are.
Absolutely.
And, slowly but surely, they're losing people left and right. These polls where they talk about it, it's kind of like when Fox needed a recession when Biden was in. We were told we have a recession. Unfortunately, we don't have a recession. Or fortunately, we don't have a recession. Yeah. But we've been led to believe we're in a recession. People, wake up. He's a danger, clear and present danger to our nation.
Thank you so much, Bill. Really appreciate it. You can always join us, 844-967-2789. Stay close. This is As Goes Wisconsin. You're listening across the Civic Media Radio Network.
If we do it right at the end of the night, we'll be smiling in our mugshots. When we see the souvenir, we'll be grinning ear to ear, smiling in our mugshots. Smiling in our mugshots.
This is the Shaw, WAUK.
This is me, Gene Okerlund, and I'm talking with Brett Yulberg, owner of Robert Hack Diamonds. Brett, I hear you pay cash for gold.
Not only gold, but silver, diamonds in any form like jewelry, teeth, coins, flatware.
Why should I sell you my gold?
Why not? Our store is the only store that recommends you shop around before you sell. This way you know you're getting the most money. But if Robert Hack Diamonds can't beat a competitor's offer on your scrap gold, we'll give you $20 just for letting us try.
Hey, what if I'm shy?
You? Well, at Robert Hack Diamonds, we sit with you at a table. We go through your items and make you an offer. You're not pressured, and we offer more on jewelry that we can resell.
Can I trade my gold for a new piece of jewelry?
Of course you can, and not only that, we can custom make a piece of jewelry using your gold and gems.
Hey, there you have it, folks. Sell your gold to my friends at Robert Hack Diamonds. Visit them on 76th and Layton in Greenfield. Robert Hack Diamonds, where they want your business.
You're listening to the Shaw, WAUK.
Good morning. Welcome to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Matnair in for Kristen Bry. She's going to be joining us at 10:33, so stay close for that. Greg Bach with me in studio. Calvin on the board. You can always join us at 844-967-2789, 844-96.
Party.
Just real briefly, and then we're going to move on. Donald Trump yesterday putting on social media that if one of his fans buy all 47 of his new mugshot edition digital cards for $4,653, you also get an autographed piece of the suit he wore when he was arrested. Texter listening in Green Bay on the 715. Honestly, This is not the original suit. You think he'd cut up one of his own suits? No way. I don't think that's wrong.
I mean, also, I don't care. Yeah. But they get to feel warm at night.
Apparently so. All right. Texter also shared this link, and I did see this cross. We had a bunch of stuff that kind of broke right before we went on the air this morning. Article in today's Milwaukee Journal Sentinel regarding the Waukesha School District. Amy Menzel resigned as a Waukesha West High School teacher in 2022. She says in this article, I could no longer do my best work as an educator in Waukesha. So she is among several people, including a current Waukesha School District teacher and the parent of a Waukesha student, who say they've recently filed federal complaints over the Waukesha School District's treatment of LGBTQ plus students and staff. They think this move, like the 2021 controversial issues policy, are violating the First Amendment. The 3 longtime Waukesha residents agree the district was not always like this, but in the past 2 years, they say they've seen it become a hostile environment to the LGBTQ plus community. And I think we've talked to several parents in the Waukesha School District.
Yeah.
We also talked to the teacher who lost her job over Rainbow Land Song.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think these parents are alone.
Yeah. Melissa Garvis sat in this very studio 2 days ago.
Right.
And, I mean, it is just, it's blatant, it's brazen, and they just might as well say, get out of our school.
We don't want you. You're not welcome.
Exactly. Like, I mean, that's all I'm hearing from this. There's no, and this is a public school too. It's kind of what Bill was talking about on the call. They have some answering to do, because these types of attitude have dire consequences for children, terrible consequences for families. And I'm not hoping, wishing, or thinking. I'm just living in the fact that so many young queer kids out there are homeless, without family contact, are harming themselves, and they're doing it because of situations like this. I mean, sometimes when your family doesn't accept you, school is where you go to get away from the chaos.
Yeah.
Could you imagine going to a place where you are surrounded by thousands of people where everyone you feel like are saying you're not welcome, even if you have friends, you don't feel like you belong and you don't feel safe.
According to an LGBTQ plus advocacy group, 82% of LGBTQ plus students have experienced firsthand harassment or bullying in school. According to the Trevor Project, youth who reported having at least one accepting adult were 40% less likely to have a suicide attempt.
Yes.
So yeah, the support and the acknowledgement, just the recognition that you exist.
Just the feeling of belonging and safety is it's a huge factor. And now these school board members and these teachers, and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed.
Again, this is from an article in today's Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. The school district of Waukesha Superintendent James Siebert emailed and said the district is not aware of any complaints and that the district's policies ensure the First Amendment rights of students and staff. Siebert also says the admin has clearly explained which student services or staff are available to help students on various issues and pointed to multiple club offerings for students. Our staff have a professional obligation to serve all. We continue providing multiple opportunities for kids to feel safe and have their individual values respected at school. 844-967-2789. Stephen from Green Bay is on the line. Good morning, Stephen. What do you think about this?
Well, I got two things. First of all, the whole Trump selling his suit thing, other than it being horribly stupid, I think it serves the purpose that he wants served, and it gets people talking about him. And I think that's one thing that he's trying to do, is just keep his name circulating out there in the front of people's minds. Now, with this whole thing with Waukesha School District, I think it's unfortunate, to say the least, that in 2023, we still, as individuals, some of us have this hatred for people that don't look like us or don't think the way we do or don't love the people that we love. I think we are going backwards as a country rather than forwards. And I think something is really going to happen drastically to change the trajectory that we're going on, or we're headed for a very dark place. In school, I always learned that if you don't learn from history, history will repeat itself. And I think we are on the curve of history repeating itself if we don't change something soon.
Oh, Stephen, I believe you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And unfortunately, I think it is the goal of some to send us back.
Exactly what I was thinking.
It is.
Exactly what I was thinking.
That is the absolute goal, because there is some idea that life in the 1950s was the perfect nirvana dream time in America. And that's what we need to go back to.
Yes. That's
when women couldn't get their own credit cards or have birth control.
But you look so nice when you made dinner, though.
I know. Thank you for calling, Stephen. Appreciate it.
I actually thinking about that. You think about that. What Stephen said in the beginning about Donald Trump trying to stay in the news. He's literally ripping the clothes off of his body.
Oh, he is not.
No, but he is. But I'm saying, my point is, like, he's literally ripping the clothes off of his body and saying, "Please look at me, remember me. It's all I have." Like, I mean, it's the height of patheticness.
Well, his niece, Mary Trump, who is a very, very vocal critic of his, he essentially said the same thing last night on Twitter. It's like, this is just sad.
Yeah.
This is just sad. But Stephen's right. He loves the spotlight. That's where he
no attention is bad attention to him.
Yeah. All attention is good attention.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up, Kristen Bry will be here. I highly encourage you to join us on the live stream. You can see how she's doing. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and or Twitter. And just a reminder to download the fine, free Civic Media app.
Free?
It's free, Greg Bach.
I don't have to pay a single dime?
You don't have to pay a single thing.
Not a ducat?
Nope, not a ducat.
Not a ruble?
Not a peso, not a nothing. Absolutely free. So if you're going to be heading out on the road for the holidays or you're going to be traveling, make sure you download some of your favorite podcasts and you can take us along with you. Don't go away. This is As Goes Wisconsin. You're listening on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Wisconsin informed, engaged, and entertained. This is The Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM, WAUK.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Wisconsin voters may someday choose their candidates for Congress in a very different way. A bipartisan ranked choice voting bill got its first hearing before a state Senate committee yesterday. Under ranked choice voting, all candidates for U.S. House and Senate would appear on a primary ballot together, regardless of their party. The top 5 candidates would advance to the general election. Maine and Alaska do it this way. Property taxes are expected to go up an average of about 4.7% in Wisconsin. On the other hand, the new state budget added about $250 million to the school tax levy credit and boosted the lottery tax credit by $16 million. That means the typical property owner is actually seeing bills go up by closer to 2 or 3%. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WAUK News, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. In November, there was a less than 1% decrease in year-to-year home sales in the 5-county Milwaukee region. The Greater Milwaukee Association of Realtors reported a 1.3% increase in home sales in Milwaukee County. the only county in the region to show growth compared to last year's numbers. Waukesha County saw a marginal decline of about 1%. The realtors are emphasizing the urgent need for more property listings in the market. Despite higher interest rates, the demand for homes remains strong. The concentration of squads today in southern Milwaukee County is for an officer's funeral. Visitation is this morning in Franklin for Milwaukee officer James Nowak. A funeral is this afternoon. He died in a car crash while off duty in Oak Creek. An investigation is still ongoing into that crash. And that's what you need to know. I'm Stuart J. Waddles, WAUK News.
Radio keeps your community informed, entertained, and connected. It's what we're all about at the Civic Media Network of local radio stations.
We're having fun and moving fast to preserve hometown radio across Wisconsin. This includes a commitment to news. Now we want to invite you to join Civic Media's exclusive Facebook group, Wisconsin Breaking News. It's a place to share your community's news and chat with others from across the state about it.
Join the Facebook group Wisconsin Breaking News today. It's the perfect companion to your local Civic Media radio station.
A new time for the Badgers home game. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball team moved up the start time of their game tomorrow night against Jacksonville State so that more fans can follow the UW women's volleyball match. That's against Texas later tomorrow night. So the basketball game will be the Badgers against Jacksonville State at 6 p.m. at the Kohl Center, followed by the NCAA Final Four from Tampa featuring Wisconsin against Texas. That's at 8:30. NBA, the Bucks host the Pacers, the team that knocked them out of the league's in-season tournament. As tonight at Fiserv Forum, Malik Beasley on facing Indiana after going into overtime against the Bulls the other night.
I mean, definitely a learning experience, especially with the game. You know, we went into overtime where it was a tie game with 4 minutes to go. It's kind of the same situation, and we executed way better on both sides of the floor. So, you know, we owe these guys too. So we're excited to play them, and we want to get the win.
That's the Bucks' Malik Beasley. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Here's your updated forecast on the Shaw. Mainly clear skies this afternoon with a high of 36. Southwest winds 8 to 15 miles an hour. Lows around 26 tonight. Bright sunshine tomorrow, high of 46. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Eric Height. Currently, it's 28 degrees.
The Todd Alba Show.
Even Republican women, when they walk into that booth, that reversal RVW is going to walk in with them because that cuts to the very essence of what a woman is and what she can be and what she can decide. To speak in Wisconsin terminology, the reversal of Roe v. Wade is the right Bauer for Democrats. That's a euchre reference.
That is spot on. You nailed it, John Roach, once again.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Your home of the Earl Ingram Show. Weekday mornings from 8 till 10 on The Shaw. 540 AM and 101.1 FM
Good morning. Welcome to As Goes Wisconsin. So happy to have you along with us this morning. Hello, Hayward, listening on WBCH and everyone across the Civic Media Network. Also listening on the stream, watching on the stream on YouTube, Facebook, and or Twitter. She's here. Mom is here. Kristen Bry, how are you doing? I know you said this is a makeup-less Wednesday, but girl, you still got Riz.
Still got Riz. I like that you're incorporating that slang into your vernacular, Jane.
See how hip I am?
You're so hip. So
yeah. Don't break that hip.
Don't break the hip is probably more accurate. We are going to do ultimately the good, the bad, and you stole how many of these? But first, I just want to see how you're doing and how perfect Francis is doing. Frankie Lou, what's going on with the baby? How you feeling?
Well, just this morning, I was putting the final touches on our Christmas cards. And so you will both be receiving those in the next week or so. And so I think we have a star on our hands. She likes the camera.
Shocking.
But I also don't know how unique that will be to her. Because think about the difference of, I didn't grow up with a phone in my face, like constantly taking 12,000 pictures of me every single day. But I already have, I think, literally 12,000 pictures of, not really, I'm kidding. But,
I bet you have several thousand.
The amount of pictures I have of her and how from literally the day she was born, how used to a phone in her face she will
Yeah.
be, and all kids are now, versus the like 10 pictures I think I can find of me as a infant that my mom has and my grandma has and stuff like that. And so I wonder if it's like the generation of like total hams we're raising, because they're like, yeah, take my picture, take my picture, take my picture, take my picture. But regardless, whether I'm biased or not, she's a star.
Absolutely. Well, and I think it's interesting too, the whole picture thing. At least when I was growing up, and I'm the youngest of 6, so there were all kinds of pictures of my sister Suzanne, who's the oldest.
Yeah.
And there's like, there's 100 pictures of my sister, and you get to me, and there's 2.
I want to make a
Because it's
daguerreotype
like, yeah,
joke.
whatever. She's the last one. Yeah, but that's fine.
Oh yeah.
So if you're going to do that, and if you're going to have a second one, I just think it's important for parents to remember to try and keep that equal a little bit. I know
That's the advice you're going to give if you make a
wears
second
off,
kid.
I know it wears off on the second and third and fourth ones, but just try.
Well, it is so interesting because it's such a unique, and I don't know, I'm sure there's child development experts who can talk about the first birth order and the differences that makes on whether it does or not on personality. But even we talk about this all the time, of this like very, very special time that Mike and I have right now, because he's, working for himself. He has his events, but he's starting a new job in January. I'm coming back in January, and we've had this time just with her that's been fairly calm, because she's a pretty calm baby. And we literally will never have it again, because even if we were lucky enough to have this much time for parental leave, if we have a second kid, she's here. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have a toddler running around. And so it's definitely it's going to be inherently different, even with a second kid and all the external stuff being the same. It's just not going to be as, I don't know.
Magical?
I don't know, because I think it'll be equally magical. It certainly will be more chaotic, though, just because of having 2. And so there is something really special that is, and I thought I was going to get a lot more done in December. Like I had these plans of like the slow roll back into work and getting things done. But I wake up and now I'm like, I just want to hang out with you. Like, I kind of want it to end because I'm excited to get back and stuff, but also that can wait. I'll just stare at you for a couple more hours.
Yeah.
Well, again, she's at this age where she's changing so much so quickly. And maybe it's easier for us to see those that, if we don't see her all the time, and I've only seen her maybe every other week or every 2 weeks. And so the difference to me is remarkable on how much she's changing. And I can only imagine how reluctant you are to give up that time of I just want to stare at you. Is that okay?
Well, yeah, because it's really like you pick her up. So she'll go to the nanny every day from 8 to 4. And so her waking hours, I'll really have like 4 to 7, 4 to 8 with her every day. And like, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's really not. And I think too, and we've talked about this before, for women who do not have the luxury of having 12 weeks maternity leave, my heart just breaks for them. I can't even imagine how difficult that is.
Was it on this show that I mentioned the irony of the fact that, and Greg, you'll appreciate this as a new dog parent. We don't even let puppies leave their mom before 8 weeks.
Yeah. I mean,
and yet in this country, FMLA only covers 6 weeks. Just saying.
It's just like when I remember a friend of mine a long time ago was having a baby, and she explained to me, like in other countries, you have a baby and that's it. You're on leave. You file the paperwork, and here it's like, all right, I got to file paperwork, take my vacation, any sick days, file for FMLA. It's such a process that I was just like, this is so embarrassing as a country. I showed Jane a clip of people in England being asked how much certain things in healthcare costs.
Oh, this is hilarious.
And they were like, oh, how much is an ambulance? $100? No, like $2,700. And they were like, what? How do they do that? I'm like, we don't know. We just do it. Or we go
do it.
Yep. We
Just
don't really have a choice. They show up at the house and we're like, how much are you? We can't price match while laying on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. This is a system we're stuck with, at least for right now.
Yeah.
If you are just joining us, Kristen Bry is here as she is every Wednesday from 10:30 to 11 while she's out on maternity leave. Going to be back in just a few weeks. Going to be here before you know it. Coming back in January. We are doing the good, the bad, and you stole how many of these? So we're going to start off with the good. Golden Globes were announced on Monday, and we have several native Wisconsinites who are going to be going head to head. Willem Dafoe from Appleton and Kenosha's Mark Ruffalo, both nominated Monday for Golden Globes for Best Supporting Actor in the movie For Poor Things.
Love me some Mark Ruffalo and some Willem
I haven't
Dafoe.
even heard of that movie.
Neither have I.
Thank you. I felt badly because when I saw them come out, it's like, I don't even know what that is.
It's you said what this
Poor
is
Things.
Golden Globes?
Golden Globes, Poor Things, a surreal comedy starring frontrunner Emma Stone. It doesn't open in theaters until December 22nd.
Oh.
That's maybe why I haven't heard of it yet.
That could be.
I always feel like Golden Globes is a 50-50 shot for me. I'm like, oh, I know that. And like, that just seems way too smart for me.
Yeah. Defoe, of course, studied theater at UW Milwaukee. He was a member of the original Theater X company that I actually saw perform when I was in high school.
My friend's aunt and uncle started that.
Did they?
Yep.
That's what made me fall in love with theater.
Yep.
Was seeing
They
that.
when
Yeah.
he came to town to do the commencement, he went over to their house for dinner to hang out, and she didn't sneak pictures, but she was very respectful. She was like, click, 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 click. She's like, there's Willem Dafoe in the same room as me. So.
And also, this is a stretch, I think, for considering her a Wisconsinite. Rachel Brosnahan was born here, but she grew up in right outside of Chicago.
Hey, Colin Kaepernick.
She's the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's fantastic. She really is. And if you haven't had a chance to see that series, I highly recommend it. It's very funny. It's very sweet. And another Wisconsinite's in there, and that's Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah.
That is true.
Who I adore.
I love him.
He's one of those people who I think I would seriously embarrass myself in front of because I'd go all fangirl.
You'd
on
have no
him.
riz.
I would.
And I think apparently he's kind of shy, so it would probably be really awkward because you probably wouldn't handle it. He'd be like, okay, and like
that's enough.
But me and Kristen would be on the sidelines just with popcorn. more. I totally forgot what I was going to say about Tony. Oh, they came out with a Monk movie, a brand new Monk movie on Peacock. It's like his final case, quote unquote, has the original cast.
Oh, wow.
And we were going to watch it last night, but it got a little too late. It was 8:30. I had to go to bed. So we didn't watch it, but I'll watch anything Monk related. I love that show.
And also, if you have never seen Galaxy Quest, Tony Shalhoub's in that, along with Tim Allen and
Alan Rickman.
Sigourney Weaver and Alan Rickman. It's priceless.
Yes.
It's just one of those priceless movies that I can watch over and over and over
Yeah.
and over and over again. All right.
Well,
the good,
okay.
the good,
I was gonna
the
say, it's
bad.
Go on.
No, so go. You go, Jen.
University Wisconsin Board of Regents will be voting around 5:00 today to reconsider this GOP deal that would release the raises that were already approved, because a deal is a deal, according to Robin Voss, in exchange for new limits on campus DEI programs.
Yeah. They're going to reconsider the consideration they already considered.
This is the exact same measure that they looked at and then rejected on Saturday. So what has changed?
One vote.
One vote, yeah.
So they convinced somebody.
So the question I have, and I asked Jane this before we went to air, is did someone just pull her into a room and say, we have the tapes, we have the pictures, we have the info? Because in the course of it's Wednesday, in 72 hours, 96 hours, they just decided to flip their vote. What's the threat here then? Because you don't just change your mind because... I want to know why. There's got to be a reason why.
I agree with you. I mean, if the deal was bad on Saturday, why is the same deal better on Wednesday?
Yeah.
So under this agreement, lawmakers would release $800 million to the UW to cover cost of living raises and some building projects like the engineering building that we really, really need at UW-Madison. In exchange, the schools have to freeze the number of DEI positions through 2026 and then realign some jobs that are currently focused on diversity. And this just feels like a complete capitulation. So then what was gained?
Yeah.
What was gained by not approving this on Saturday?
Drama.
Is there a smoking gun?
Headlines?
I don't know. I don't know. Greg
That's
Buck.
the thing is,
but doesn't this just make him look bad?
if this was a movie, there'd be a scandal unraveling in the second act.
I don't know. Maybe there's. I don't know enough about how the Board of Regents work as far as like promises made, because it's like they get appointed, so it's not like there was any kind of we'll help you with your re-election campaign, right? Because they're there, and so I don't know what the conversations would end up looking like as far as one vote changing their mind. But certainly this is not without its
questions.
Like I said, well, also just like the drama around it. But it is. I also was having this conversation earlier this week as far as would they not just backfill those roles eventually? Like there's also the behind the scenes of what this looks like. And I know Todd made this point, I think on Monday on this show, as far as the other things that Democrats could be really getting upset about when it comes to the UW system. I know that he's been talking about this a lot in his show, and that this is the DEI thing is what they're really, and then not that they shouldn't, because I think there is valid arguments there. I also think there's valid arguments as far as like, is the DEI programs as they exist right now doing enough? Like we've had Quentin Claiborne on before, and he makes very valid points that like Wisconsin-Madison has never broke 5% of their class, their class being of people. Well, at least I think that's specifically people who are Black. And so it's like, are they doing enough? Are these programs? Working? And I don't know if that's the reason why Voss and company wants to torpedo them. But as far as people who actually are in favor of a more diverse, supported class and like student body, is there not a good question? Like, are they working? But that may or may not be the reason that this is happening.
I think if that was the case, Robin Voss would have said outwardly to cover his tuchus. He would have said, you go back and you reimagine your DEI program because right now it's not working. It's not, but he didn't say that. I just think he hates the idea. It's threatening to him.
I don't know if he hates the idea. I think Alec, because we talked to Representative Christina Shelton and Representative Hong when they went to the ALEC like annual convention, and this DEI was now the new CRT.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the new culture. It's the new culture war issue. You are listening to As Goes Wisconsin. Stay with us. It's the good, the bad, and you stole how many of these? This is the Civic Media Radio Network. Don't go away.
The Shaw, WAUK. Roll into this Friday night and strike a chord of fun, food, and music at Foxview Lanes in Waukesha. The Friday night live music party kicks off at 8 p.m. and goes until midnight every Friday night. And the best part of this party, there's no cover charge. While you're having fun, grab dinner and take advantage of $2 off all sandwiches on Friday night. This Friday night, enjoy the music and fun of Bail Jumpers. 2440 West Sunset Drive in Waukesha. Call 262-544-2010 or check out foxviewlanes.com. The fastest hour in radio, serving truth, justice, and equality with every slice. Outside the Pizza Box with Pizza Box Mike. Friday nights at 7 on the Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM WAUK.
It's easy to listen to your favorite local radio station anytime. Download the Civic Media app from the Apple or Google Play Store, then listen live or whenever you want from anywhere for free.
This is the Shaw, WAUK.
Good morning. Welcome to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Matt there in for Kristen Bry. Greg Bach with me in studio. Calvin's on the board. And Kristen is joining us on the StreamYard as she does every Wednesday while she's on maternity leave from 10:30 until 11 a.m. I encourage you to join us on the stream on Facebook, YouTube, and or Twitter. And if you have any questions for Mama K, you can always call and or text at 844-967-2789. We did get a text earlier this morning, Kristen. She wants to know, we're having a cookie exchange on Friday between Carol and Greg and Calvin and I. And originally it was going to be cookies only. And then we had to make a special dispensation for brownies.
Oh,
so there's a special
brownies?
brownie exception. And are you okay with the brownie exception, or do you think that that's breaking the rules?
Well, is it specifically supposed to be holiday related?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like brownies are specific to Christmas.
Don't look at me, Jane. This was Carol. I adhered to the cookie only part of the agreement, but I saw and you got real in my face about it. You were like, no, absolutely not. Then as soon as your buddy Carol walks in and says, I'm gonna make brownie, you folded like a cheap Donald Trump suit for sale.
It was the lure of the caramel and the brownie and the nuts. I think that's what that.
So you just want a brownie?
Yeah, I pretty much want.
Is that what Carol's
brownie.
making?
I don't remember.
I'm making
That's fine.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll just go over here and just
Anyway,
do nothing.
We're doing our cookie exchange. Our holiday treat exchange is what we'll call it.
I'm only in this for the cookies that Calvin's bringing.
Everybody wants Calvin's mom's cookies.
Because what's Calvin's mom's cookie again?
Calvin, tell Kristen.
They're a special magical.
They're called sour cream cookies. I'm a little worried people are going to be a little let down. But
What are they akin to?
I don't know. They're just like a fluffy sugar cookie, I guess.
So it's like so it's like a butter cookie, but with lots of sour cream.
Oh,
Is like a sour cream frosting, or is it baked into the cookie, Calvin?
There's no frosting on them. It's just sugar sprinkles.
I'm sure we're all going to love it.
Sugar sprinkles.
I'm sure we're all going to love it. All right.
Who doesn't love sugar sprinkles?
we are doing the good, the bad, and you stole how many of these? Stafford, Virginia sheriff's deputies had been trying to find out who was stealing side mirrors from tractor trailers over the course of 3 years. 3 years this has been going on. They finally found him, Carlos Flores Hernandez, 27 years old, now facing 2 counts of grand larceny in Stafford, Virginia. 206 side mirrors from tractor trailers over the course of 3 years. And this really had some bad impacts for these truck drivers. They would have to wait for the replacement parts. You can't be out on the road without these things.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
What do you do with those?
He had them in a box.
So he wasn't even like pawning them to make money. Like he just was like a collector.
What, wouldn't you make an art sculpture out of them or something? I mean, come on. You have 206.
You're asking me to put myself into the brain of a person who sold 202. 206. My apologies, sir. Not to disrespect your thievery. No, I don't know. But it's like 3 years of manpower and resources in the police department. I just imagine whomever was in charge of this just has a big whiteboard with pictures taped to it and red string pointing to.
And where was this again?
This was in Virginia.
How big was this town?
That I cannot tell you. It's Stafford, Virginia.
I'm on it.
But
I'm trying to think of like Milwaukee Police Department. If you were to complain about your side mirror getting taken, they'd be like, all right, we got a lot of cars that have been missing, so deal.
Forget
You
the
can
mirror.
deal.
Yeah.
Population 4,300.
Okay.
This was high crime and
Well, it was, and amazingly, this guy would have kept getting away with it until 2 weeks ago. Some guy with a truck put an AirTag tracker on his mirror, and the guy stole that mirror.
Yeah,
and that's how they found him.
I would have gotten away with it too. Hey,
Yes, it was the perfect crime.
Thanks, Tim Cook.
Up until that moment, this was the perfect crime.
And then when they interviewed him, he said, hindsight being 2020.
Oh.
I shouldn't have done it.
How about jail is closer than it appears?
I was waiting for that one.
I'm just not funny anymore. I give up. Just not funny anymore.
Well, Carlos, I hope it was worth it. Carlos Flores Hernandez, 27, 2 felony counts. You could be going away for a while.
Wait, 2 felony counts?
2 felony counts and of grand larceny. 2 counts of tampering with a vehicle, but they're still investigating, and they say more charges are possible.
I'm in for murder.
Wow.
I'm in for rioting. I'm a gang. What are you in for? I stole mirrors.
And everybody moved away from me on the bench.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd probably freak me out if I was in jail. I'd be like, "You crazy?
Yeah.
There's something crazy about you.
There's something wrong with
Yeah.
you."
Like
Well-
this was the highway to just stealing people's hair or something. I don't know. just that's weird.
Again, I remain disappointed that he didn't even do anything with them. If you're going to spend all this time to collect 206 of them, then make a collage. What are you, just lazy? Let out your
So now you're
your-
judging his. Okay, gotcha.
his use of his stolen items. Let out your inner artist or something. Come on, it's going to be your last.
Give us
Carlos.
motive.
Get him. Yeah. What's the motive?
Satisfaction of a motive, at least.
All right. What's up? What's up for the rest of your day today, Kristen Bry?
What is up for the rest of my day? Oh, actually, Zizzo, which is a marketing company that our friend works for, they every year do a donut eating smackdown. And Mike participated, and he also wore his Santa suit while he participated to promote. He has 12 Bars of Christmas, his downtown bar crawl. If anyone's looking for something to do on Saturday, quick plug for that. But they did not make it to the top 5. But it is a fundraiser for the United Way of Greater Milwaukee and Waukesha. So I will send you guys a link so we can add it to the show notes today. If anyone wants to still donate, United Way is obviously an incredible organization. And so we are headed to an event from this evening at Central Waters to see who the winner was.
Sounds fun. Take care, my friend. We will see you next Wednesday at 10:33. Stay with us. Coming up, the news, followed by a new segment of More Words from Men. This is As Goes Wisconsin across the Civic Media Radio Network.
Shoplifter, you'll get him burned, and now you gotta do the time. Oh, now you gotta do the time. Well, now you gotta do some time.
The Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM, WAUK. You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
The journey to a smoke-free life can be difficult. Kick the habit with the help of Vape Walkie. Vape Walkie isn't just a vape shop, they're a community, and their knowledgeable staff can assist you in finding the perfect products to suit your needs. With a wide variety of vaping products at the best prices, they cater to everyone from novices to cloud enthusiasts. Mention this ad and join the rewards program to receive 100 free points when you sign up. Vape Walkie, 215 Oakton Avenue, Suite C in Pewaukee. Call 262-696-6620 or log on to vapewalkie.com to find more.
You're listening to The Shaw, WAUK 540 AM Jackson, W266DR Waukesha, and always streaming on the Civic Media app.
CBS News brief. Hunter Biden defends his father.
My father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing lawyer, not as a board member of Burisma, not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman.
And on Capitol Hill, he attacked Republicans who subpoenaed him to answer questions behind closed doors. He says he will only in public. Comes on a day when House Republicans are due to vote on opening an impeachment inquiry into President Biden.
This is an investigation about public corruption at the highest levels. We have accumulated mountains of evidence that's concerning to an overwhelming majority of Americans.
Kentucky Republican James Comer The Supreme Court's agreed to take up a dispute over mifepristone, the drug used in abortions. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
This decision could have a huge impact on the access to abortion medication by women across America.
CBS News Brief. I'm Steve Kathan.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. The League of Women Voters says so-called election integrity efforts in the Wisconsin legislature are a wolf in sheep's clothing. The League's Deborah Cronmiller points to attempts to dismantle the Wisconsin Elections Commission.
Other bills that have been introduced, which sort of, I think, show the hand of this legislative body, is that they're not really looking for more integrity in our elections.
Governor Evers has vetoed a number of election bills in the past he says would make it harder to vote in Wisconsin. The University of Wisconsin Board of Regents is set to vote today on the same deal with Republican lawmakers it rejected Saturday. Among other things, it would trade more modest diversity efforts for money for employee pay raises. Governor Evers says he's disappointed by the process. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WAUK News, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. Milwaukee is indeed accepting the $15 million from the state for the future demo of the Northridge Mall. The Common Council voted yesterday to approve the state grant after Governor Evers allocated $15 million from Wisconsin's remaining coronavirus funds for use on bringing Northridge down. However, the mall is currently the subject of a legal dispute as the owners of Northridge are resisting the city's demo plans, expressing their desire to redevelop it instead. An armed carjacking in Illinois culminated in a crash and an arrest in Delafield yesterday. Kenosha County deputies initiated the pursuit, and they say the suspect reached speeds of over 100 miles per hour during the chase. The pursuit eventually came through the city of Waukesha before concluding in front of the Orthopedic Associates building in Delafield. And that's what you need to know. I'm Stuart J. Waddles, WAUK News.
Up North News Radio with Pat Kreitlow.
Your soulmate is somebody who, when you get out of the McDonald's drive-thru, she'll do a picklectomy and take the pickles out of my cheeseburger and put extra pickles on hers.
I'm flummoxed. I'm flabbergasted. I'm quacking upset right now.
You're going to defend pickles?
Except for bread and butter pickles. Those things are the devil.
Oh, see, now if I were going to try any of them, it would be... It's got... Okay. And this is why Greg and I are not married.
Weekday mornings 6 till 8 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
It's the Bucks and the Pacers. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Milwaukee Bucks host the Indiana Pacers tonight in Milwaukee. The Pacers have beat the Bucks 3 out of the last 5 times the teams have met. Bucks forward Malik Beasley says, in some ways, this Bucks team is still getting to know each other.
I mean, I feel like we've been pretty good overall in the clutch as a new team. You know, it ain't always easy to win games, and I think that's still, we have high expectations, championship and stuff, but, like Coach said last night, we got to win and, control our situations better in between the game, first, third, second quarter, to prevent those type of situations. But, we're ready for late game situations if need be.
NFL, the Packers could be short at wide receiver this week when they face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dontavian Wicks told reporters he may have a high ankle sprain. Jaden Reed said to be in the concussion protocol. Matt LaFleur.
I think anytime you have more guys that continue to go out, it's also an opportunity for other guys.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur with sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
Here's your updated forecast on the Shaw. Mainly clear this afternoon, with highs around 36. Southwest winds 8 to 15 miles an hour. Lows around 26. Tonight, clear skies. Tomorrow, highs around 46. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Eric Height. Currently, it's 28 degrees.
When I first had my baby, I'd get comments all the time about how happy I must be. I remember thinking, I want to be happy. Why don't I feel that way? It was hard to admit that, even to my doctor. But I'm glad I did. She told me it was postpartum depression, and that is very treatable. These days, things are feeling good, and we're both happier about that. Right, little man? I'll take that as a yes.
Mental health care is working for Simone. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
The Civic Media network of radio stations across Wisconsin. It's your hometown radio. Refreshed. Whether you're heading down Les Paul Parkway or fighting traffic on the interstates, this is The Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM, WA. From the Civic Media Radio Network, moving Wisconsin forward one joke at a time. This is As Goes Wisconsin with Kristen Bry.
Where it's going, no one knows. Hello, Wisconsin!
Now, filling in for the new mom, here's Jane Matinaire.
Good morning and welcome to As Goes Wisconsin. Thank you so very much for joining us. We're coming to you live from our studio in beautiful downtown Waukesha, broadcasting across the state. Want to remind you, too, we have a new show just started last week across the network, Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. You can catch him 8 to 10 p.m. across the entire Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app. Calvin, keep turning his. There we go.
It's free.
The app is absolutely free.
Woo!
And if you're going to be heading out for the holidays and you want to download podcasts so you can take us with you, absolutely do that. So you will find the Civic Media app wherever you app.
Put us in your pocket for the holidays.
Exactly.
Season.
Take us along. We haven't done this in a while.
No, we haven't.
And this just really jumped out at me when it crossed my Twitter feed the other day. So it is time for a new episode of
Play It, Calvin.
More words from men.
Yes, more words from men.
The never award-winning series.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Award-winning series. No, more words from men on As Goes Wisconsin.
What men have more words, Jane?
Charlie Kirk.
It's barely anything.
30 years old. Charlie Kirk is a MAGA Republican who has a radio program. He's also co-founder of Turning Point USA.
I think he's also oh no, that's Ben Shapiro. He's one of the big guys in the YAF, the YAF.
The YAF. That's the Scott Walker organization, the Young Americans. Charlie Kirk, the co-founder of Turning Point USA, had 3 male guests on his show in the last couple of days. And we have a clip, Calvin. Let's play that clip.
I have to be honest. I don't like Taylor Swift at all. And
most guys don't. Well, isn't that the real topic, right?
But that's kind of the real topic. And I feel as if she's being forced upon our culture. Like it's this Taylor Swift colonizing effort. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. She's a narcissist. I don't think that she's very talented.
She's nasty. She's ugly. Nobody likes her. She looks like nobody likes her. She looks like a teenage boy. Like dudes don't like her. Like if you put her in front of she's ugly.
That's true. Yeah. Does Taylor Swift have any eggs left?
I don't think she probably. I don't know if she had it to start with.
No. What?
Yeah.
There's so much to unpack in that very brief clip.
Jane, before we go into that unpacking, I did some basic research on their claims.
Okay.
No talent. No one likes her.
She looks like a boy.
I can't.
That's subjective.
Yeah, that's
okay,
subjective. She is the most streamed artist on Spotify in 2023. Guess how many streams she has? Just take one guess.
1.2 billion.
Try 26.1 billion. She has most charted songs of all time, which is 231 of them. She has an estimated 114 million albums sold. She's been making records for less than 20 years. She has 1,234 various award nominations. 637 of those she has won. 52 of those nominations Grammys. 12 she has won. She has set 117 Guinness World Records. And the Eras Tour went on to make $1 billion this year. And oh, by the way, she's Times Person of the Year. So she doesn't have any talent thing, Charlie, and your idiot friends who I didn't even learn because you're nothing. You're wrong. You're stupid and you're jealous.
Well, again, there's so much within that little clip. First of all, I love that Taylor Swift is being forced upon us. We're being colonized by Swifties. Okay. Does that mean we're all going to wear sparkly tops? I don't know what that exactly means. Charlie Kirk also claimed that Taylor Swift got 4 million girls registered to vote in 24 hours. Therefore, she is going to destroy the country. Now, I just want to point one thing out. If the MAGA party had a male celebrity who got 4 million young men to register and go vote, they would be screaming this from the rooftops.
Yeah.
And celebrating this like nothing else.
And also, I don't think it was 4 million.
It was not 4 million.
Yeah.
National Voter Registration Day was September 19th. That morning, she put on her Instagram reminding people it's National Voter Registration Day.
Yeah.
Here's a place to go vote. It's the nonprofit, nonpartisan group called vote.org. So, yes, they had 35,252 new registrations on National Voter Registration Day. That, if you round up, it's almost 4 million.
You were only off by 3.
You're so close.
3,965,000.
I could see where they could make that mistake.
I mean, and then the whole like this is the classic hypocrisy of these kinds of dudes. These guys, the dudes, have all sorts of opinions on women, and they're too emotional. That's why they shouldn't hold power. They don't respect the patriarchal structure of the family and the country. They're all the gossips and blah blah. They are being exactly who they stereotype women as. They are sitting there. If you watch the video, they're not even sitting there like having a discussion about why they're just complaining to each other as if the cameras and microphones were off. Like, this sounds like off air conversation. It's just so light and breezy for them, but they're just saying the most vitriolic crap.
Well, and things that are unfortunately not based in reality.
No.
There are some basic biological questions I think need to be addressed.
Boys.
So again, in that clip of Charlie Kirk, who is the co-founder of Turning Point USA, they ask on whether or not Taylor Swift has any eggs left. She's 34 years old. So I did a little research.
You did your own research?
I did my own research on how ovulation works. I wonder if Taylor Swift has any eggs left. What does he think women do with their eggs? Do we lose them? Are we misplacing them? I was at the store and I left them in my purse. What do they think happens to a woman's eggs?
Well, maybe they think because she's so hardworking and she does so much and she doesn't settle down and have a baby, that with every song she writes, she loses an egg. That's just what happens. As she gets more successful, that is the crime of women becoming successful. For every Grammy she wins, another egg is gone. For every #1 hit, take an egg.
I'm wondering if they think that every time a woman has sex, she loses an egg. Because that's also not how ovulation actually works. So babies with ovaries come with all the egg cells they're ever going to have. You do not develop any new ones over the course of your life. So babies with ovaries are born with between 1 and 2 million eggs. Obviously, this is an estimate.
Yeah.
When women hit puberty, they've got about 300 to 400,000 because more than 10,000 eggs die every month before you even get to puberty.
And you know what? There might be a thing in her body, a biological issue where she doesn't produce them or didn't have them or whatever. I don't know. That ain't our business.
No, it's not our business. And again, she's only 34 years old.
Happy birthday, Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's right. Today is her birthday. Today's her birthday.
We basically have the same birthday, Jane.
You and Taylor Swift?
Yeah, basically.
Well, you have so much in common.
Thank you.
So every month, the body selects a group of eggs as contenders to be the one to ovulate. So there's one follicle, essentially the sac that holds the egg, that is ultimately the one that is going to be released that month.
Yeah.
Typically. There are exceptions, of course. If you, in some cases, you can have fraternal twins. That's a different issue. IVF is an entirely different story. But no, guys, women release 1 egg a month.
if she has any eggs left over. I just love. Does she have any eggs? Like, you were really searching for insults there. Like, I mean, here's the thing: is I know people who don't like Taylor Swift. I've heard their complaints, and it's usually about her music, her lyrics, things like that. Fine, whatever. Instead, they just go off the deep end.
I know.
And go into female biology, which they would never understand or look up for their own. Or they would go, I don't want, gross.
Icky.
Lady bodies.
Yeah, icky stuff. Well, we're going to have Dr. Kristen Lyerly, who's going to be here tomorrow, and she can help clarify.
That's the first question. You should just out the gate be like, Dr. Lyerly, tell us truthfully, what happened to Taylor's eggs?
Where are they? Do you know? Where are they?
These guys.
Fertility does start to decrease in a woman's early 30s, and then it speeds up as you pass your mid 30s and get older. And certainly lifestyle choices, smoking in particular, is going to hurt your ability to conceive and have healthy eggs. But I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift is a pretty healthy person.
She looks like a kind of person who probably enjoys a naughty meal here, like a steak or something, but then probably exercises. She seems to take care of herself.
Oh yeah, good heavens, she performs. I mean, she does a physical workout every time she performs.
3-hour show.
Yeah,
I know she likes the wine, but who doesn't?
Well, she's not. Trust me, I highly doubt that she's smoking, and I think she's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Text here from the 541. Jane, have you seen the price of eggs? Taylor Swift probably sold them, which is how she got so rich, since no one likes her music. Hashtag sarcasm.
Side note, I want to look this up. There's actually an investigation into the price of eggs, that there was a conspiracy to drive the prices up.
And yeah, that's an entirely different thing.
Yeah.
If you want to check on this, more words from men, 844-967-2789, 844-96.
Party.
Is Taylor Swift not talented and ugly and eggless?
If you know where Taylor's eggs are,
Call
can
us.
you tell us?
Yes, please. Call now. 844-967-2789. Text and or call or leave a comment on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You're listening to As Goes Wisconsin. Stay close. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to The Shaw, WAUK.
Latrell spent more than 8 years in foster care. His world changed when he was adopted at 15 with help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
I think about how much we love him, and I wish we could have had him for his entire childhood.
The foundation is changing the lives of thousands of teens waiting in foster care. You can help. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
The Shaw, WAUK.
I have to be honest. I don't like Taylor Swift and at all. And
Most guys
Well,
don't.
isn't that the real topic, right?
But that's kind of the real topic. And I feel as if she's being forced upon our culture, like it's this Taylor Swift colonizing effort. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. She's a narcissist. I don't think that she's very talented.
She's nasty. She's ugly. Nobody likes her. She looks like nobody likes her. She looks like a teenage boy. Like dudes don't like her. Like if you put her in front of she's ugly.
That's true. Yeah. Does Taylor Swift have any eggs left?
I don't know if she had it to start with.
No. Welcome back to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Madnair in for Kristen Bry. Greg Bach with me in studio. Calvin is on the board, and you can join us at 844-967-2789. That was a discussion between 30-year-old Charlie Kirk, who is a MAGA, who is the co-founder of Turning Point USA, and also has a radio program, and they're whining about Taylor Swift. And did you know, Greg, that she has no talent and nobody likes her?
Well, at the beginning of that quote unquote discussion, I'm not going to give it the weight of that word, but they go, that's the real topic here is not just if people like her, guys.
Yes.
Guys like her.
But because that is the only audience that matters.
And that clip is actually about 4 minutes long. And at one point they say that if you go to one of her concerts, which one of the guys admits to going to a concert, it was nothing but teenage girls and gays. And you, dude, you were there.
I would think if you're a single guy, going to an auditorium of thousands of young women would be a good thing.
I mean, I wouldn't want that guy within 1,000 feet of anybody.
No, I understand what you're saying. But the whole thing just makes me laugh.
Yeah. I mean,
especially the whole, does she even have any eggs left? How do we think biology works, people? That's not how it works.
Let's not pretend that they have any clue on how biology works, let alone female biology.
Truly. Jim and Appleton texting from the 920. Do these boys identify as incels by chance? I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. I don't know that they are self-proclaimed incels. And if you don't know what an incel is, it's involuntarily celibate, essentially meaning they can't get anyone to date them or sleep with them.
This is like, you know what? Seeing as that no lady wants to do with me, I don't want to do with them either. So I'll be in my mom's basement talking about Taylor Swift.
But there is a group of those incels who believe that it is a women's obligation to sleep with them.
Yeah.
They do.
Yes, absolutely. They think that. They are absolutely
they are entitled. They are entitled to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just absolutely just have no. I mean, like these guys wear they wear the incel / chauvinist / originalist of America, and this is who we are type of button with pride. And it's that type of thing is like the more you yell at them, the bigger they get. Because this is what they want. They don't care about the discussion. They don't care about the point. They care about the reaction. As long as they get the reaction, that's what they're happy about, period. And it doesn't matter if you agree with them or disagree with them. That's what feeds them. Yeah, because we're talking about it right now.
Well, and they're not wrong when they talk about the amount of power that Taylor Swift has culturally.
Yeah.
But again, they claimed that she got 4 million girls registered to vote in 24 hours. She's going to destroy the country. If the situation were reversed and MAGA had a GOP male celebrity who could get 4 million young men to vote, they would be overjoyed. And this should be another reminder that there are people who do not want everyone to vote. They think there are only certain people who should vote. Because obviously it would be fine for a whole 4 million young men to go vote. Not 4 million young girls.
4 million young girls if that GOP superstar were to get them to vote. I mean, like that's the thing is as long as they know that vote's going their way, they don't care who votes. But the moment you start questioning anything, it's whoa, they're listening to too much Taylor Swift.
Right. They're being influenced by her.
They're gonna leave their men and lose their eggs.
Because we forget them all over the place.
That's what actually, folks. I don't actually know if you know this. I've done some research myself. The number one cause of loss of eggs, feminism.
That's scientific.
That's scientific.
I'm scientifically proven.
I'm scientific. My name is Greg Scientific. no relation to the calculator. And I'm telling you right now, feminism makes you lose your eggs.
Okay, good to know. We'll clarify that tomorrow with Dr. Kristen Lyerly.
Please don't.
She's here
Please do not. I do not want to get yelled at.
For the public service announcement, I think we may just want to address that just briefly on how is it that we're losing our eggs all over the
I
place.
have a PhD from Prager University.
Oh, there you go. We're so scatterbrained, Greg, that we don't know where we put them. And again, Taylor did not register 4 million people. She did, however, on National Voter Registration Day, there were 35,252 new registrations. I don't believe when they registered, they said, I did this because of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and even if
we just know that there was an increase in the number of people who signed up to vote, which I would think would be a good thing.
You know what? I'll say this. If Charlie Kirk went on Instagram on National Voter Registration Day and said, hey, don't forget to register to vote, and he got 10,000, 20,000, be like, cool. You got people to register to vote, be part of the process. That's the important part. I don't care if it was Taylor Swift. I don't care if it was my mom. I don't care if it was Charlie Kirk. This idea that she's somehow going to ruin the country by just telling people to not even vote, just register to vote.
Register to vote.
Come on, you're just sad. And then both goes back to my original point. They don't care about the discussion or the end game. They care about the reaction. The reaction is all they need and want, because that's what gets them clicks, engagements, money, sponsors, money, more sponsors, money.
I think it's an important message to young women. There are people who do not want you in the voting booth.
Oh, I have a feeling those young ladies already know that.
Unless you're married.
Yep.
They'd really like you to get married young so you can listen and learn from your husband.
Yes. Yes.
The proper way.
And it's really great if your parents agree with your husband.
Yes.
You have to do that sticky thinking for yourself.
Yeah, well, don't burden us with that. We're trying to keep track of our eggs.
I'm trying to have a baby here.
I don't know where I put them. They were just here and now they're gone. All right. Don't go away. When we come back, I'm an older person and I don't
nothing.
I don't take advantage of this thing, this tool that is available, because I don't trust it and it makes me suspicious.
Okay.
And I'm fairly certain I am not the only one. We want to know what useful tool is available that you avoid because you're like me and you just don't trust it.
What's something that everyone else seems to use, but you do not?
Sure.
Technology, a tool itself.
A tool itself.
You know.
844-967-2789, 844-96.
Party.
Don't go away. Stay close. This is As Goes Wisconsin. You're listening across the Civic Media Radio Network.
If it's torture, don't say I didn't warn ya. Boys only want love. If it's torture, don't say I didn't warn ya. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, if the high was worth the pain. Go on, like Starbucks lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause you know I love the players, and you love the game. 'Cause we're young and reckless, we'll take this way too far. It'll leave you breathless, leave a nasty scar. Go on, like Starbucks lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. But I've got a blank space, baby.
101.1 FM, broadcasting to Southeast Wisconsin at 540 AM. This is The Shaw, WAUK.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. It's been 6 months since a teenage boy from Reedsburg vanished after running away from home. The Sauk County Sheriff's Office says there are no new updates in the search for James Yoblonsky. He's been missing since mid-June when his father says he ran away from home. Clues turned up in and around Devil's Lake State Park near Baraboo this summer, but no new developments since then. Authorities and James's father say they're still looking for him. Wisconsin voters may someday choose their candidates for Congress in a very different way. A bipartisan ranked choice voting bill got its first hearing before a state Senate committee yesterday. Under the bill, all candidates for U.S. House and Senate would appear on one primary ballot together, regardless of party. The top 5 candidates would advance to the general election. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WAUK News, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. The streaming service Peacock is set to release a new documentary called Braun Strowman Waukesha Strong on Friday. The documentary highlights WWE superstar Braun Strowman's efforts in assisting the victims of the Waukesha Christmas Parade attack. It showcases Strowman's collaboration with the Green Bay Packers to create special boots in honor of Jackson Sparks, the youngest victim of the tragedy. Those boots were auctioned off to support those impacted by the attack. The heads of a local brat empire are now part owners of the Brewers. The owners of Johnsonville Brats have bought a piece of the team. The Brewers announced yesterday that Ralph and Shelley Stayer, the owners of Johnsonville, bought a minority stake. No one is saying just how much the Stayers paid or how much of the team they bought. Johnsonville has been the Brewers' official sausage since 2018. And that's what you need to know. I'm Stuart J. Waddles, WAUK News.
Roll into this Friday night and strike a chord of fun, food, and music at Foxview Lanes in Waukesha. The Friday night live music party kicks off at 8 p.m. and goes until midnight every Friday night. And the best part of this party, there's no cover charge. While you're having fun, grab dinner and take advantage of $2 off all sandwiches on Friday nights. This Friday night, enjoy the music and fun of Bail Jumpers, 2440 West Sunset Drive in Waukesha. Call 262-544-2010 or check out foxviewlanes.com.
It's the Bucks and the Pacers. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Milwaukee Bucks host the Indiana Pacers tonight. In Milwaukee, the Pacers have beat the Bucks 3 out of the last 5 times the teams have met. Bucks forward Malik Beasley says, in some ways, this Bucks team is still getting to know each other.
I mean, I feel like we've been pretty good overall in the clutch as a new team. You know, it ain't always easy to win games, and I think that's still, we have high expectations, championship and stuff, but, like Coach said last night, we got to win and, control our situations better in between the game, first, third, second quarter, to prevent those type of situations. But, we're ready for late game situations if need be.
NFL, the Packers could be short at wide receiver this week when they face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dontavian Wicks told reporters he may have a high ankle sprain. Jaden Reed said to be in the concussion protocol. Matt LaFleur.
I think anytime you have more guys that continue to go out, it's also an opportunity for other guys.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur with sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
Here's your updated forecast on the Shaw. Mainly clear this afternoon with highs around 36. Southwest winds 8 to 15 miles an hour. Lows around 26. Tonight, clear skies. Tomorrow, highs around 46. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Eric Height. Currently, it's 28 degrees.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Your home for the Devil's Advocates. Weekday afternoons from 4 until 6 on The Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM. WAUK.
We're caught in a trap.
Good morning. Welcome to As Goes Wisconsin. Coming to you live from our studio in downtown Waukesha. Good morning, Hayward. Thank you for joining us. Jane Matnair in for Kristen Bry. Greg Bach with me in studio. Calvin is on the board. You can always join us. Call or text at 844-967-2789, 844-96.
Party!
Or if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and or Twitter, you can leave a message there as well. Hey, the Bucks tonight hosting the Pacers, 6:30. You can listen on Oshkosh Air Support, WISS in Oshkosh, or on WRCE in Richland Center, the news from the center. So go Bucks. Hopefully they'll have a good game tonight. We had this discussion off the air before we even started the show today. So I won't use this thing, and Greg thinks I'm silly.
Well, I don't think you're. Yeah, I think you're silly. It was because here's the backstory, real quick backstory. Jane was nice enough to buy me a coffee today, and I wanted to pay her for the coffee. You know, I don't expect anyone to buy my coffee, but I said, "Hey, Jane," in my head, knowing that what the answer was.
Yep.
I said, "Do you have Venmo?" And there was a sharp no. Like, you fool.
Of course not.
You fool.
You think I Venmo?
I don't know. You Riz.
No to Venmo.
What? Why?
I don't trust it. It makes me twitchy.
So,
because it's a bank account that you can send money to someone else, correct?
Correct. It's a way of connecting. Yeah.
So does it go? Do I have to make a wallet?
What you do is you just welcome to Greg Explains Venmo to Jane.
I'm not the only one.
I know.
I'm sure I'm not the only one.
So it's like so you have an Amazon account.
I do.
And have you ever bought anything on Amazon from your from either your phone or your computer?
From my computer, sure.
Okay. Have you ever bought anything from your phone?
No.
Okay. So that was just for me. You set up an account there. You have a wallet there. That wallet has
at Venmo.
I'm talking about Amazon.
On Amazon.
So I'm using this as a example.
Okay.
You set up your wallet, quote unquote. That wallet has your card in it. That card you use to pay for stuff. That money from your Amazon account is transferred to Amazon. They take that money, they deposit it in their big old pockets. They send you your stuff. Boom, done. There goes the dynamite. Same thing with Venmo. You're going to go onto Venmo. You can either hook it up to your bank account or to a card. There are reasons for either. And then so what happens is I have a Venmo account. If you had a Venmo account, I would simply just say, all right, I'm going to send you $5 for the coffee.
It was $27.
You know what? You're getting $5 because I didn't ask for the expensive toffee. I send it to you. I get your account. It's like Twitter. You have a handle.
Okay.
And then it has a notification that says, Greg has sent you $5 for coffee. You go into your account, you click it, you can tell it where to put it. You can put it into your savings account, checking account, and the money's there. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's just a way of sending money. It's encrypted. It's safe. If there have been problems, there's only one major problem with Venmo. And that is if you do not get the exact handle, then that presents.
So you can deposit the money to the wrong person.
Correct. Yes. But if you're simple, like, hey, Jane, what is your Venmo handle? And you tell me, and I go, is this you? And you say, that's me. Then we're fine. It's a pretty safe. And there's Venmo, there's Cash App, there's Zelle, there's Google Wallet, Google Pay. Like there's all these different versions of that idea of just transferring ones and zeros to each other digitally. And it's fairly safe. I haven't heard anything in the paper saying like, oh my gosh, someone hacked into Venmo and everyone's accounts are free and open to the public. It's just another way of doing it. And I totally understand why you don't want to do it. I get it. My mom didn't want to do it, but it got to the point where the whole family was doing it and she joined in.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I the only one? 844-967-2789, 844-96-PARTY. Do you Venmo? I personally do not.
Or if there's something akin to Venmo that everyone else does and you don't, call us up and tell us why you don't want to use it.
And what the thing is.
And I'll tell you what mine is.
Okay.
I never screenshot or take a picture of a check to deposit it on online banking. I will never do that.
I'm with you on that.
Someone hands me a check. That check goes into my pocket. That pocket goes to the bank. That pocket is full of a check. That check comes out of my pocket. I sign it, put my little thing on there. I hand it to the person behind the 9 inches of glass. And I say, please deposit this meager winnings into my checking account. And they do that. I walk out and I'm happy.
So what is your hesitation to do that?
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to screw something up. It has less to do with the outside world and more about the fact that but also more so anything else, I just like running to the bank. It's not old timey, but it's just like, hey, I got to run some errands. Got to run to the bank. Got to go to the market. Got to get gas, that kind of thing. So it's like, it takes me no time at all. So
Calvin, do you Venmo?
Of course, he invented Venmo.
I do Venmo. Well, now that I don't have roommates, I don't have as much reason to anymore.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But do you and your friends, as our resident young person, I assume you all Venmo with some frequency?
Yeah, I mean, it's better than carrying cash around.
Yeah.
See, I like having cash.
And Jane, we're here to tell you, you can have cash. No one's telling you can't. There's nothing wrong with carrying a 20 in your pocket. But most people, especially of a certain age, don't do that anymore.
I suppose.
Like I never carry cash anymore. I don't work in a tip. The tipping world is gone from me. So I don't.
You don't have access to it.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
It just always seems silly to me to use my card for $4 when I have a $5 bill.
Well,
It's
and also
just-
there are charges too on that too. It makes
On the
sense.
card.
Yeah, they'll charge you a percentage fee on the card and say using cash. And I understand it completely. You shouldn't do what you don't want to do. There is a convenience level to it all, and I don't even know if there is a fee with Venmo, but I use it for various things.
So I'm assuming you're not going to bring me my $27 tomorrow for the latte that I got you today.
You'll get $5 in nickels. That's all the cash I have, lady.
844-967-2789, 844-96.
Party.
Do you Venmo or is it a no-no? Peggy from Brooklyn, Wisconsin is on the line. Good morning, Peggy. Thank you so much for joining As Goes Wisconsin.
Hi. No, I do not Venmo for multiple reasons, but the number one reason is my hairdresser, my horse farrier. Probably about 20 different people I pay cash to.
Yeah.
And they give me 20% discount right off the top.
Yep.
Nice.
That's the number one reason.
Nice.
Number two is I've been told that they are going to start charging on Venmo because the government feels, of course, that they're losing some money.
So they're going to tag
And
they're going to tag a 3% or something on there, Peggy, probably.
Yep. And I've heard that through multiple people, but they haven't yet. So I'm really happy for the people. But no, I pay cash. And you know what's really interesting is a lot of my friends go, "Oh, she's the cash lady." So I like dealing with me because they know they're going to have cash in hand then.
There you go.
There are people who love getting paid in cash. Absolutely.
And there are places, gas stations will give you cash discounts.
Yes.
And you can just simply be like, hey, if I pay with cash, can I get a certain amount off? Because they won't charge you the 10% card fee then. Because a lot of the times that price is because they're putting that fee on you. So we got a text from the 414 that says, don't know about Venmo charge, but I try to use cash as much as possible. Giving a credit card company 3% for a transfer is highway robbery. Now, yeah, that's totally different. I'm not doing transfers with credit cards. Like I'm not like
it's transferring.
Yeah.
But
you still get charged for using credit cards at certain locations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the vendor is getting charged.
Yep, they're getting it's all basically it's all a fee that I'm getting to pay.
Yeah, yay.
Way to go, me.
844-967-2789, 844-96.
Party.
Do you Venmo or is it no Venmo? Glenda from Madison. Good morning, Glenda. What do you think?
Good morning. I actually wanted to call and say that I use Zelle and Venmo and cash and checks, all of those. But I do have to put my checks in directly online because I don't have a brick and mortar bank. There's several banks out there that are not brick and mortar anymore.
Yeah, your Allies, your Chimes. There's places out there or they don't have, like here in Wisconsin, I don't think there's a Bank of America location.
Not a physical one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There are several banks that have gone online. I think like Capital One has one, and
Correct,
there's other banks that are online that you don't do anything in a brick and mortar store place. And now they have it. So, and I teach piano lessons. And so all of the people pay me, a couple people pay me cash, but most people pay me Zelle, Venmo, or something else like that with my handles.
Yeah.
And you've never had a problem with it, Glenda?
Knock on wood. No, not one. Even depositing my checks online.
Yeah.
No problem.
It's fairly safe, well-known technology now. I'm not telling you to do it or you have to do it, but if you wanted to do it, I'd show you how to do it. Make sure you did it safely. Thank you so much, Glenda, for calling.
Thanks a lot, Glenda, and thank you for being a piano teacher. I had a piano teacher when I was a kid, and she was wonderful.
And thank you, Cindy, for calling too.
Yes,
With Cindy,
absolutely,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Drawing a blank. From Brooklyn. She comes from Brooklyn.
I didn't know we had a Brooklyn, Wisconsin.
Now, look what you learn.
You know
on this
who lives
program.
there? Tony Coldcuts.
844-967-2789. Do you Venmo, or is it no Venmo, or is there some other thing, device, tool, something useful that everybody else is using and you're just not comfortable with it? Because that's how I feel about Venmo. It makes me twitchy. It just makes me twitchy.
Okay. I mean, the thing is, like, when you say it makes you twitchy, that's the thing is I want to get you not feeling that way. Like, if you're just like, I'm not using Venmo, I don't care. But the nervousness, that's what makes, because there's other things out there that, there's other programs, other apps that do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not doing those either. We have Doug from Randolph on the line. Good morning, Doug. Thank you so much for joining As Goes Wisconsin. Do you Venmo or no?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. But I just did your comment on the eggs for the ladies. I just want to say the other way around for a white male. The more farther you are right on the Republican Party, the less your sperm count is.
Oh, that's science. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Doug, when we have Dr. Lyerly on tomorrow for public service announcement, well, I'll run that past her. And
she'll agree with that.
And see how that holds up. But you have no opinion on Venmo.
Venmo, I guess I don't. Venmo.
Or well,
then
you're with me, Doug. Then Doug is on my side. I'm claiming Doug. I'm taking him. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate you backing me up.
I feel like he didn't back you up so much. You just grabbed his wrist and said, "Come on, we're going to Denny's and we're paying cash for moons over my hammies."
Doug's coming with me.
All right, fine.
He has no choice.
You are seriously getting very defensive right now about this, and I'm going to make you a Venmo account.
Oh, jeez. Just to teach me a lesson.
Calvin, another question for you before we so you said you use Venmo. Is there anything like a Venmo that your friends use or people use and you're like, no, thank you?
No, not really.
He's all about technology, folks.
I mean, everyone I know uses Venmo. I've heard people mention like other apps, and I'm just like, well, do you use Venmo? And they're usually like, well, yeah, I have that too. And then we just go with that.
So is that like was Venmo the first of its kind, or one of the earlier versions?
It's definitely one of the earlier ones.
It's almost like a Zoom or a thing where, like, even if you say like, I'm going to Venmo you, like, what do you use? I use Zelle. Like, Venmo is the proper name is now the verb. Like, I got to Google something.
Yes.
So that's how ubiquitous Venmo is.
Nice.
Thank you.
844-967-2789, 844-96-PARTY. Don't hang up if you're on the line. Call and or text and stay close. You are listening to As Goes Wisconsin across the Civic Media Radio Network.
Is the Shaw, WAUK. Be a part of the resistance. Check out the Paul Revere Show with Mark Thompson, Monday nights at 7 on the Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM WAUK, and on the Civic Media app.
Timeout. All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Fear you may be missing out? We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. Enjoy listening live or catch up by finding the podcast at civicmedia.us or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts.
You're listening to The Shaw, WAUK.
Hit me in the eye. Maybe I can see better.
Good morning. Welcome to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Matnair in for Kristen Bry. Greg Bach is with me in studio. Calvin's on the board. You can always call in or text at 844-967-2789, 844-96.
Party.
And if you're watching on the stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, you can leave a comment there as well. We're talking about Venmo. I do not Venmo. For me, Venmo is a no-no. I just don't.
More like Venno.
Oh, that too. So we're wondering, do you use Venmo, or is there some other application or some other tool that everybody else, it seems like, is using? And you're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Karina, thank you for your patience. Karina from Milwaukee is joining us. What do you think, Karina? Venmo or no?
Well, I tell you this, I didn't have a Venmo because it wasn't there as I knew it. I had the Cash App, and I had a problem with the Cash App, and I called them, their 1-800 number, and when they called me back and helped me figure out what's going on, I lost $10,000 off my checking account because they were interrupting the calls to the main line, and they called back as a customer service with my full information, everything. And they said, oh, yes, of course, we're going to help you. Let's reinstall your card. Let's put things together. We're going to connect you to the bank. And as soon as I did that, the $10,000 went poof.
So you were,
you
were scammed by somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was very professional. Guys. I worked for Bank of America for 7 years doing mortgages and everything. So I am aware, like, painfully aware of everything what can happen. And I asked all the questions. I asked all the things I know I need to ask, and they gave me full information. Because you can use it maybe at some point, but when you have a problem, there's nobody to help you. And this is, I don't like, and I would rather go into my Wells Fargo, yell, scream, shake someone, and get myself in the place where I'm comfortable and safe. So I'm sorry. I know it's comfortable, but sometimes it's cost you too much.
No, I appreciate that, Karina, and I'm so very sorry you had that experience. $10,000 is not a small chunk of change. That is enough to make you sick to your stomach.
That's me want to delete my Venmo.
Well, this was not Venmo in particular that she was referring to, but texter from the 414 says Venmo, heck no. Cash is king. Stacy from Waukesha, another text on the text line at 844-967-2789. My mother-in-law does not do any financial transactions online, but she also thought the COVID vaccine had a microchip in it, so there's that.
Oh boy, we got a text message from the 608 listen to WISS. PayPal does the same thing, and the PayPal savings has a 4.3 interest rate. PayPal has been around longer. This person obviously works for PayPal.
Nice commercial for PayPal.
That's a wonderful commercial for PayPal, everybody. Yeah, that's terrible, Karina. And I don't. Yeah, I have that kind of leads me to back where I said before. The only thing I've ever seen anyone experience with Venmo is when she sent my friend some money. Luckily, it was only like $25 to the wrong account. She eventually got the money back.
She
but
did.
You have to run through so many hoops.
Yes.
And you have to get that name correct. And it's helpful to put a picture on there so someone can see your face. It's just.
But Karina's right. It really is very difficult now to find actual human people that you can talk to resolve anything.
Yep.
I have this charge that I've had on my credit card for over a year and a half. I cannot get rid of it. I can't talk to a human that works at this place. And I've had the robotic chat, online, and it's $31 a month. And I have not been able to find a way to cut this. They say I subscribe to this service. They don't have any of my emails. I have never subscribed to this service, so they can't even identify who I am. So yeah, it's a real pain in the neck when there's not an actual human person to help you figure things out.
That's ridiculous.
Loretta from Kenosha is joining us. Good morning, Loretta. Thank you so much for joining
What's up,
as does
K-Town?
Wisconsin.
Hi.
Hi, what do you think?
No, I don't use Venmo. No.
No,
And,
Venmo.
No Venmo, and I do not. I'm an oldster too. I do not use online banking at all. And can I ask a question?
Sure.
In the news, you've talked about the school closings in Kenosha. Are you talking about that today at all?
We have not been. I'm not sure what Todd Alba is going to be covering next because his show is next at noon, Loretta. But let's take a look at that. That can be something that we can put on the show plan for tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you for calling. And back to Peggy. It was Peggy in Brooklyn
Peggy
who
in
joined us.
Brooklyn.
Peggy is back. Good morning, Peggy.
Hey,
What did we miss?
So one quick thing on PayPal, I paid for a clinic way up north, a horse clinic, and the lady told me she never got the money. So then I called PayPal. They put it on hold. PayPal hung on to the money. They never gave me the money back. I spent over a year dealing with them.
My.
So that's why I don't deal with PayPal.
Yeah.
And number two is my husband had a hack on his credit card about 2 years ago. And I don't know, it's unbelievable. But by the time I caught it, it was $20,000. And by the time I caught it, yes, I caught it and I called the credit card company. It was through Cabela's credit card. And the lady said, oh, well, we can put a hold on that money until you give us a reason why you don't want it to go through. And I'm like, but this is like over 30 days. The money's got to be gone. She said, oh, no, there's ways of doing it. And she did. She put a hold on it. My husband wrote a letter. They wanted an official letter from him that he didn't order this, blah, 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 on the date, time, and everything. And the money got re-put in our account.
Well, that's great.
I've never heard of that in my entire life. But I don't know why more credit cards can't do that.
They probably can. They just don't want you to know.
They would rather not have to do that. Thank you so very much, Peggy. Really appreciate it. One real quick text. It feels so, from listening on WAUK, it feels so anticlimactic to get a Christmas gift through Venmo. I'd rather get cash in a card.
Whatever. I mean, it's all going the same account anyways. Whatever.
Coming up tomorrow, Dr. Kristen Lyerly will be here at 11:06 for our public service announcement.
R.I.P. Andre Brager. Can't talk about it today.
We're running out of time. Andre Brager, who was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And many other things.
Passed away very young. He will be missed. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for calling and texting and joining us on the stream. I hope you find some joy today, and I hope you have the chance to share it. Stay right here. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
I found out. Can you hear me? Come on and listen to me now. I found out.
Southeast Wisconsin informed, engaged, and entertained. This is The Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM, WAUK.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app. Roll into this Friday night and strike a chord of fun, food, and music at Foxview Lanes in Waukesha. The Friday night live music party kicks off at 8 p.m. and goes until midnight every Friday night. And the best part of this party, there's no cover charge. While you're having fun, grab dinner and take advantage of $2 off all